URLradio.net. Stacey Sturm, and in the studio with me today, I have Amanda and Aaron Butcher. Good afternoon, guys.
Good afternoon.
Am I an honorary girl today?
You're an honorary girl. You're an honorary woman.
All right.
But
awesome.
feel powerful with it, Aaron.
I feel the power.
Work it, baby. Work it. And on the phone with us, we have Orianthi. Good afternoon.
Hello. How you guys doing?
Good. How's it going with you today?
Yeah, great. I'm looking forward to heading off to NAMM tomorrow. Do a bunch of signings, and it's always crazy there. My new PRS is going to be out for people to play and look at, and going to be playing a show with Steve Vai tomorrow night, so it should be a lot of fun.
Steve Vai, he was like one of your idols when you were a kid, so that's got to be pretty exciting to be able to play with him as much as you do.
Yeah, he's incredible. My first support was actually opening for Steve when I was 15 in Adelaide, my hometown, Australia. And, just in awe in watching him play over that night. I was super nervous. It was my first support, but after I stepped off and got to watch Steve's show, just completely blown away. Because it's one thing to listen to his records, but then you see him play live, and he's just incredible. So always learning from him.
So that must be a pretty good surprise for you for your birthday for this weekend.
I'm sorry?
That must be a great surprise for your birthday this weekend.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Can't wait.
So you're gonna be 25 this weekend, is that right, Orianthi?
No, I'm only 27.
Get out of town, 27. Well, you look 25.
She was born in 85,
Yeah.
I believe.
I'm gonna start acting more
the year
mature now.
before I graduated. I have a son who's almost her age.
So Orianthi, are you currently still playing with Alice Cooper, or are you just finishing that up?
Well, I've been on tour with him for about 3 months, and he's on a bit of a break now. And they're actually playing a show up in Canada, but I'm able to do that because I have to go and play Daytona 500 next week. I definitely rejoin up with Alice down the road for sure. And I love playing with him. He's amazing. And I had a blast out, literally going around the world for about 3 months. We started in New Zealand, then we went to Australia, and I had to learn like 25 songs in a week, and it was craziness, but I'm so glad I did because I had a ball.
That must have been a lot of work.
Yeah, my brain was hurting for sure. It was pretty crazy. I was like to everyone, just leave me alone for like a week so I could learn everything. But it was crazy. It was just and being up on stage with him, he's such a great showman as well, and so I got to cover myself in blood every night and be like scary Anthony.
Zombie Anthony.
Yeah, it was kind of like an ill-tempered zombie guitar player, prancing around on stage with Alice.
If you don't mind, I do have a question for you. Playing with people like Michael Jackson and Alice Cooper, who put on these huge productions, are you drawn to the more dramatic acts when you're in the support role of the main guitarist? Are you drawn to something that, you got to throw a little acting in there and some drama? Is that something when you played with Adam Lambert also?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I just love it when people put on a real show, MJ always did, and Alice, always does, and these people, you just learn so much from, I love just being a guitar player, and being up on stage with these, incredible artists. It's a learning thing for me, and I love it. And there's just so much, with the shows, like, when preparing for This Is It, or going on tour with Alice, there's a lot going on. It's like Frankenstein, prancing around with, like, guillotines and, things you're going to dodge, like giant balloons and knives and stuff. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy, but I enjoy that.
I remember when you backed up Carrie Underwood and everybody was sort of like wondering, who is that hot chick, that hot guitar player? Was that sort of like your make it moment? Is that when you feel like you really had gotten noticed, like, this is going to be it, I'm really going to take off now? Yeah,
that night was really crazy because I'm a big country music fan, a big fan of Carrie's, and she invited me to go up there and jam out. And just getting up on that stage and watching the Grammy Awards all the time at home in Adelaide in my pajamas. One day, head there and being on that stage was just crazy and jamming out. And then afterwards, a lot of people were just like online and in interviews and stuff. It was craziness, but I honestly just expected to get out there and just jam out with Carrie and have some fun. And being up on that, stage was just like crazy, looking at this like musical sort of royalty in front of you and passing Bono on the stairs beforehand and a bunch of people. And it was just, and meeting B.B. King as well. It was just like a crazy night. And then after that, it was crazy. And I guess Mike Bearden and a bunch of other people were there that saw me play. And then, sort of everything sort of led to another thing. And I got sort of the auditioning thing with Michael. And it's just from that point, I guess, it was kind of really out there, being on that stage and everything. So crazy.
Did you start doing the Blackbird or start recording, at the Blackbird Diaries just after that then?
No. After, after I was working, actually before I was working with Michael, I started my record, and Believe, my first sort of album, took about 2 years to sort of make, put it together and everything, because I was in the studio beforehand, and then I got the email to come and audition for Michael, and so, because I put everything aside, as you do, so I went in there and didn't expect to really get the audition, and so, after that point, I was like, this is amazing, and so I put my stuff aside, and then, after he passed, sort of finished up the record, and then, went out with that, but started recording at Blackbird probably about 4 months ago, 3 months ago now.
Okay.
And, I had a blast working there. So much fun. And just being in a room, in a little booth, and being surrounded by all these incredible musicians, and you're all playing at the same time, recording. It's kind of the way that records were made, back in the day. So it's inspiring as a guitar player, too, to play in that sort of environment. So it was really great.
So I love how you say all these other inspiring musicians. You're probably one of the top guitarists, I think, guitarists of all time. But do you ever get a little tired of people saying you're one of the top female guitarists and not just like you're one of the top guitarists of all time? Do you ever notice that? Do you ever read that in the magazine and go, do you know what? I actually play better than a lot of those males.
I hope to inspire more girls to pick up the guitar. There's not that many out there. I mean, Bonnie Raitt, and Jennifer Batten,
Nancy Wilson.
Great,
yes.
Great players. Yeah, Nancy Wilson. Yeah, they're just amazing players. And so I hope to, inspire more girls to pick up guitar and keep at it. Because for me, going through school, it was really difficult because there wasn't any other sort of female players. So I'd be lining up same auditions as the guys, and it was a difficult sort of environment, and so and some people might just, too hard, just want to give it up. And actually, I remember a teacher, could see what was going on in the classroom and everything, and he came up to me and goes, it'd be far easier if you picked up a more feminine instrument like the harp or something. I remember, and I was like, what?
Oh,
crazy. But, yeah. I know, it's just like weird. I always remember that. I was like, just so weird. But I hope to inspire more girls to just keep at it. If they pick it up, just to keep at it, and just play the music you want to play and have fun.
So now, do you think being a female guitarist has hurt or helped your career?
It's kind of weird. Like, I try not to read too many comments online because quite a few people are like, you're just a girl, she gets attention and stuff. But it actually kind of works against you because you pick up a guitar and guys that have their arms folded. Like, can you really play? You're just holding that thing as an accessory or something. And so you got to prove yourself twice as much, I think. So yeah, I mean, it's sort of a weird thing, but I try not to think about it too much. I just play. When I'm playing with different musicians and jamming, I don't think like, I'm a female guitar player. You just play, do your best and learn your stuff. So yeah.
Do you still play piano at all?
Oh yeah, I love writing on the piano. I actually have a keyboard set up here at home, and a lot of my ideas, like for the EP, I was writing How Do You Sleep, or If You Were Here With Me. I actually started that piano, started on the piano with the chords and everything, then sort of finish it up on guitar. And yeah, so it's inspiring to put me on to start to write songs on the piano, because it's all different, because you find yourself sort of getting stuck in different things with the guitar, but with the piano, it's like different chords and stuff you got to go to and stuff. So.
And it's rare to actually have a female guitarist that actually plays, sings, and plays piano. I mean, that's very rare. You're very talented.
And drums, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
And drums. And I always wanted to be a drummer myself, but never worked out.
I'm a frustrated drummer. Yeah, I'm a frustrated drummer. So,
as am I.
I know a couple of them.
I love playing drums, but, it's just like, it's a real challenge for me, because it's like, so you have to be so coordinated. It's something I want to get better at.
Now, you played drums on your original demo yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, I did back at home in Adelaide, Violet Journey. I played drums on actually the tracks, I think, 1 or 2. So, yeah.
Yeah. Now, this is going to sound like a horrible, bad question, but do you think you'd be as successful a female guitar in the industry? Because you'd rock anywhere, but do you think you'd be as successful on stage and so sought after if you were less hot?
She's hot.
You're very attractive, and I'm a straight lady. Like, I'm not a lesbian. But you look at pictures, and I'm like, I could see why the guys would definitely want to have her on stage.
She's got beautiful hair.
You do have great hair.
She is a beautiful young lady. Yes, she is.
All about the hair. All about the hair.
That's what I keep trying to tell my wife, but she doesn't let me grow my hair anymore.
Hey, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that.
Yay! I always have to have one of those questions.
Stacy stumped you. Awesome.
Well, thank you. I'm happy you guys like my hair.
Yeah, you're great hair. But now, this brings me to sort of my next question is, I interviewed Alanis Morissette a long time ago after Jagged Little Pill blew up, and she said one of her biggest frustrations was the corporate guys, they didn't even really listen to her stuff. They just wanted a piece of her, if you know what I mean. So have you found that, Orianthi, or has everybody you worked with been really great?
No, everyone that I've worked with has been really great, and with this new sort of record and different direction, I'm kind of going more, sort of back to my roots, which is like blues rock.
Yeah.
It's still commercial and everything, but it's definitely something when I pick up a guitar, I sort of gravitate towards like playing, and I've always been inspired with. The reason why I play electric guitar is because of Santana and Stevie Ray Vaughan and Jimi Hendrix, and sort of having that sort of feel to this record, like Fire, the EP is very much, it's very raw and kind of not sort of overthought. It's just like, let's go in the studio, let's just record and have a blast. And I love working with Dave Stewart. He's an incredible writer and guitar player, and so we had like just a blast going there and writing all the songs, and I've written so many songs. I can't wait to finish off the album really soon, go back there, and I feel like this record is really me, and what I want to do now is just so like a big sort of rock blues sort of sound, which is not a complete sort of departure from the last record, because it's still got like blues and rock in it, but it's less sort of pop, I think, than blues.
And Dave seems to bring out the roots in everybody. He's working with Joss Stone. He's working with Colby Calais. He's working with everybody, including Super Heavy. And he seems to bring out the roots in everybody. And I've listened to your newer stuff that's more bluesy, and I'm thinking, oh, my gosh, that's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I just had such an amazing time, and I can't wait to go back there. And, he's a really inspiring musician and songwriter. And he definitely... Yes, just follow your gut with music and just go with what got listening to back to your roots, and not to try to be anything else, just be yourself, and it's been a blast working with him.
Now, your earlier stuff was a lot of shred guitar, as they call it now, and I was really stunned by your tone and phrasing in the blues stuff that I hear coming out of Blackbird now. do you think that's going to be a trend that continues, or at some point are you going to go back to some shred? And I'm a guitar player, by the way, so I'm just interested when I get to hear some more riffs I can steal from your albums.
Oh, no.
Alrighty. Well, my iPod's like so sort of diverse, and I love listening to all different sort of styles. But with Believe, the last record, with I Think According to You, that was a pop record, and it sort of was just like, in a way, sort of decorating with my guitar playing, like putting in lots of different things. But this, I think this new record sort of starts with the guitarist. Sure. It's definitely more sort of guitar driven, and that's the base of it, and so it's definitely more blues orientated, and like shredding and stuff. I've never been like, I don't consider myself to be like a shredder. Like I like playing the blues. That's kind of what I always gravitate towards when I'm soloing and stuff, and when I had to go in and learn Beat It, and just the other MJ songs, learning all that kind of stuff, like tapping and stuff like that, and I did that for that, and I enjoy doing that kind of music too, but I think that, and there will be instrumentals on the next record too, but I'm just more of, I think I'm more of a sort of blues sort of rock player, and definitely focus on sort of melodies when soloing,
Yeah. Now, speaking of According to You, when I think of According to You, did you see Bristol Palin dance to your song on Dancing with the Stars?
I actually did. Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think?
That was great. Yeah, that was a while ago now, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, this would have been probably 2 seasons ago, I think, maybe.
Yeah, did it give you the same feeling as perhaps walking into an elevator and hearing one of your songs being played on Muzak when they're playing it on Dancing with the... I mean, American Idol is great, but when it's on Dancing with the Stars and Bristol Palin dancing to it...
Oh, no!
Well, I'm happy they chose the song to dance to, And it's like, when we play that song now, it's a real sort of a feel-good sort of song. And I bring up a lot of kids on stage to sing along. And after that song came out, I got a lot of emails from a lot of young girls listening to the radio. And they're like, oh, we want to play guitar now because we saw your film clip and it looks really cool. And I'm like, well, that's, that was really awesome to get that. And that's what I hope to do with this next record, is just kind of steering down different sort of roads, just kind of going back to my sort of roots. And I hope those people that, dug that will listen to this next album and dig it.
Well, and I think that's a nice thing, because you say you're traditionally blues, but According to You was more poppy. But I think it's okay if you want to snag people to do something more mainstream, because, at least they're paying attention to you then. They get to know you, and then I think your next album will be just as great as far as people buying it.
Yeah, the response has been great. I put up an EPK thing up on YouTube, and as I said, I just had so much fun making that EP that I can't wait to complete it and then go out on the road and through with the album.
So you're going to get into some more dramatic blues, something really dramatic, because you've had the dramatic stage experience, and now you're getting back to blues. So you're going to have some great root blues.
Yeah, bluesy rock. I've got quite a few more songs to record for the rest of the record, and it's definitely, just like sort of dramatic blues rock. And I can't wait to, do the first sort of video clip and the whole sort of stage stuff and everything, and when we start touring. I have a lot of things in mind, dramatic things in mind, so it's been a blast.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the drama of the live presentation, I know a lot of top guitar players do this, and I just have to ask, when you're on stage and you're doing a solo and the wah kicks in, do you have a wah guy off stage?
A wah
or do you actually do
wah,
it yourself?
Wah, wah.
No, I play the wah.
You actually do. You don't have a guy off stage. That's great.
I told
That's
you.
Fantastic.
I told you she did.
Well,
No, I have to play the wah. That would be weird, because then they wouldn't know when it would come in. And then what if I wasn't by my wah?
Well, when you did the video with Steve Vai.
That would be really odd.
Yeah, when you did the video with Steve Vai for Highly Strung, neither of you looked like you were playing the wah when the wah sections were going on. But I know that's,
it's for the camera.
That's for video.
The camera
but that's a video. That's a video clip.
Yeah, nobody wants to see you chained down.
Like,
so
I read a lot of comments. They're like, "You guys weren't even plugged in." That's like,
it's a video.
I recorded it previous to that.
No, that Paul Reed Smith.
So it wasn't like a.
That Paul Reed Smith is beautiful in that video. When did you get your actual endorsement with Paul Reed Smith?
When I was about 21, I think. And I came over to the NAMM show. I think I've been playing at NAMM for like 7 years now.
Wow.
So it's my 7th or 8th year going there. And Paul's been a huge support. I started playing PRS when I was 11 after seeing Santana perform in Adelaide, Australia. And I said to my dad, I'm like, I want to play like that. I want to get a PRS and play electric guitar, because it just really affected me the way that he plays, phrasing and everything. And so I was just obsessed with learning all of Santana's solos and going to all of his shows. And I got on stage with him when I was like 18, and then Carlos actually sent the DVD of that show to Paul, and then Paul invited me over to NAMM, and then I started playing in his booth, and then and then I think last year or the year before, my signature guitar came out, which was this beautiful SE sparkly PRS, and that was a real moment for me to walk into the booth after playing it for like 4 or 5 years and actually seeing my own guitar up there on the wall. That was pretty crazy.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
I think Amanda's talking about the one with the Swarovski crystals.
Oh, it was gorgeous.
The This Is It guitar. Is that?
Oh yeah, that one I've called MJ, because that one was made for This Is It, and that's a beautiful guitar. I love it. I don't play that often because I'm scared that it will fall off, but I love it. It's just it's a real piece of art,
Now, earlier on, you were playing Ibanez's and different kinds of guitars. What was it about the Paul Reed Smith that made you switch over?
They're just really comfortable guitars to play, and I just felt like I wasn't holding a guitar when I first picked it up. It wasn't like sometimes guitars can feel a little uncomfortable if the neck's not right or something that's too heavy, but it is still right. When you plug them in, they sound great, and Paul just does an amazing job, and all of the guitars that I have, all the PRSs, just sound amazing, and they're just and they're beautiful guitars too. He takes a lot of pride in the wood that he chooses, and I love the fact there's birds down the neck. So they're just great. Really diverse guitars too. You can play much different styles on them, and they sound really cool.
So you've played with so many different people. You've played with Michael Jackson, and you played with Santana and Stephen Vai. And Alice Cooper. Who is your favorite person to play with? Who's your favorite to jam with and back up?
Oh, gosh. They're all so different, and I have a blast with all of them. Yeah, I can't sort of pick like a, sort of a favorite. They're all like just so different with what they do, and they're all inspiring in different ways. Alice is a showman, and Steve Vai is a guitar player, and it's like Santana, he's just a incredible guitar player as well, and all these, they're just so different. I can't choose.
Now, one last question before we get out of here. I was checking out your Facebook to sort of see what's new with you, to figure out what I was going to ask you. You must have had probably a dozen marriage proposals on your Facebook. How many times do you get proposed to on a daily basis?
It's a little weird because sometimes there's not even a photo of them, so they're just, you married me. It's like, let me think. Think about that for a second. It's a little odd, but yeah.
Yeah, I get those, and probably from the same 45-year-old bachelors you do.
I I know you have to get going, but thanks so much for being on with us today. And is Fire out right now, or is it going to be out soon?
No, it's out now.
Okay.
On iTunes, and also I think on Google, and not too sure. I think it's on Amazon, but it's definitely on iTunes. So that's available everywhere. It's like 5 songs, and should be finishing up the album this year at some point. But that's available now, like everywhere. Give
people your website in case they want to get updated on you.
Well, my Facebook page is always updated, so just Facebook / Orianthi, and I'm always on Twitter with updates. So that's just basically Twitter / Orianthi, and my new website should be out very soon, which should be Orianthi.com.
I can vouch for her being on Twitter constantly. That's how I got in touch with this woman.
Yeah, I'm like on the... I'm always on there. I'm like the Twitter monster or something.
The Twitter monster.
You're not the only one.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being on with us today.
Thank you.
Yeah, and good luck with your album. I love what I've heard so far. I've only got to hear 3 songs so far, but they're just awesome. They are really great.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yep. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Okay.
Have a great day.